James Pennebaker at the University of Texas ran one of the most surprising studies in health psychology. 4 days of expressive writing, just 20 minutes per session, reduced health center visits by 43% in the following 6 months and produced measurable improvements in immune function markers. The intervention cost nothing. It required no prescription, no equipment, no therapist. Just writing, specifically, writing about your deepest thoughts and feelings about difficult experiences. The effect has been replicated across dozens of studies since. Journaling is the most underrated psychological intervention available to you, tonight, for free. It doesn't merely feel therapeutic, it produces documented biological changes. It processes unresolved emotion, reducing the intrusive thought cycles that consume working memory. It strengthens metacognitive awareness, making every other habit easier to sustain because you understand your own behavioral patterns more clearly. And it activates the prefrontal cortex language systems that measurably reduce amygdala reactivity to emotional content. Today's science comes from James Pennebaker's foundational expressive writing research, which has generated over 200 published studies since 1986. Joshua Smyth's meta-analysis across 13 expressive writing studies confirmed the health effects at a population level. Klein and Bowles at Rutgers discovered the working memory mechanism that explains why journaling produces cognitive benefits beyond emotional processing. Ulrich and Lutgendorf's research specified the cognitive processing pathway that distinguishes effective journaling from simple venting. James Pennebaker's 1986 study is one of the most replicated findings in health psychology, and its design was deceptively simple. 46 undergraduates were randomly assigned to write either about traumatic experiences or trivial topics for 4 consecutive days, 20 minutes each session. Those in the expressive writing condition showed significantly fewer health center visits in the following 6 months, improved immune function markers on blood tests, and better psychological well-being ratings from 4 20-minute writing sessions that cost nothing. Joshua Smyth's meta-analysis synthesized 13 expressive writing studies across diverse populations and outcome measures to establish whether Pennebaker's effects generalized beyond a single study. They did, consistently. Expressive writing produced 68% reduction in psychological distress measures, 47% improvement in physical health outcomes, 54% improvement in immune function markers, and 71% reduction in rumination frequency, the repetitive, intrusive negative thinking that characterizes anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress. Klein and Bowles at Rutgers made a counterintuitive discovery about journaling's cognitive effects. Writing about stressful experiences measurably improved working memory capacity and academic performance. The mechanism is important. Unprocessed stressful events generate intrusive thoughts that occupy working memory continuously, even when you're not consciously dwelling on them. The brain consumes resources actively suppressing these intrusions. Expressive writing processes and integrates the experience, eliminating the need for ongoing suppression and freeing that working memory for present moment use. The neurological sequence explaining why language transforms emotional experience runs through a well-documented pathway. Unprocessed emotional events are stored as raw sensory memory with high amygdala involvement, vivid, intrusive, and reactive to contextual triggers. Writing about these experiences activates the prefrontal cortex language systems, engaging effect labeling, putting words to feelings, which Matthew Lieberman's UCLA research shows reduces amygdala activation significantly. The written narrative integrates the experience, reducing its intrusive power and freeing cognitive resources. 3 evidence-based journaling protocols target different psychological mechanisms and suit different circumstances. The Pennebaker method, 20 minutes, for consecutive days, writing continuously about your deepest thoughts and feelings regarding a stressful experience, is the research-validated gold standard for processing difficult events. Gratitude journaling, studied by Robert Emmons, builds positive effect circuitry through daily specificity and novelty. Planning journaling, writing tomorrow's single most important priority tonight, reduces pre-sleep rumination and measurably improves sleep onset and next-day task completion. Your journaling habit starter kit, 5 structural decisions that determine whether this practice builds or collapses after 3 days. Get a dedicated notebook specifically for journaling. Specificity creates ritual and signals importance to your brain. Choose a fixed time, morning for clarity, evening for emotional processing. Commit to 5 minutes only, not 20. 5 minutes builds the habit that eventually becomes 20. Keep it completely private. Uninhibited writing, with no imagined audience, produces the largest documented health effects. These if-then plans anchor journaling to your existing evening routine, where research shows it provides the greatest benefit for sleep and emotional processing. After you brush your teeth at night, that exact moment, Open your journal and write for 5 minutes. Pen is already on the notebook. If you feel anxious at any point in the day, write for 10 minutes about exactly what worries you, unfiltered. If you can't sleep, write a complete brain dump rather than lying in rumination. 20 minutes. 4 days. A notebook and a pen. The research evidence for journaling's health, cognitive, and immune benefits is extraordinary relative to its simplicity and cost. Pennebaker's 43% reduction in health visits from 4 sessions remains one of the largest effect sizes in behavioral health intervention research. Working memory frees up from intrusive thought suppression. Amygdala reactivity drops through effect labeling. The practice compounds. More processing leads to clearer thinking, which makes every other habit and decision easier. Subscribe, and write your first journal entry tonight using Pennebaker's entry prompt. The most stressful thing on my mind right now is. Write continuously for 5 minutes without editing. Don't worry about quality, grammar, or coherence. Pennebaker's instructions were to write for yourself, not for an audience. The uninhibited version produces the biological effects. Start there, tonight.